Should I be using Lovable, Cursor, or Replit? And if you're asking that question, I'm going to simplify everything in this one answer. Who gives a Now, I get this is very controversial, and I'm going to have some developers telling me, hey, you're an idiot, and I'm going to get another audience telling me I'm the greatest thing since sliced bread. Now, here's the thing that everyone is forgetting when it comes to these no-code, vibe coding tools. None of it matters if you don't get something up and running. And I understand that most of the time we want to make smart decisions. So us doing proper research and looking for all of our project goals and making sure that these tools can actually handle all of that is usually a good idea. But the reality of this is they all basically do the same thing. So the only thing that you need to be asking is, how are you going to get your thing to market? Because like so many other founders and web developers and business owners, they have spent a lot of money, a lot of time, and they've never really thought about the biggest question to ask, which is, do people want what I'm building? Now, you're going to be saving so much time and so much money by using any one of these tools. So when it comes to choosing the right vibe coding tool, it's really a matter of which one do you enjoy using the most. For me, it's Lovable, and I'll leave a link in the description to each one of these tools if you want to try them out. I strongly encourage you not to touch these tools until you finish watching this video, because if you do just go off and start trying to build your own app, as exciting as it is, you are going to burn a lot of money and you are going to burn something more valuable, which is your time. Now, I am not a developer, I'm not a coder, I'm not a programmer, I'm not any of these things. I'm actually an online marketer and a marketing coach. But over the past 10 years, I have been launching products, earning money, getting to market fast, and winning awards. So unless you have an actual passion for learning to code and building apps and stuff, then really this video is an absolute must to continue watching. You see, what most people do is they get this idea in their heads and they think to themselves, this is going to make me £1 million. But it's not, because they spend all this time building the app, they then post it online and realize they don't have a plan of action. They hear crickets and then they're stuck. And then it's a project that just dies. So if you are a business owner, here is what you should be doing right now. Don't try and invent the wheel. You probably already have a database of people who have purchased your services or products in the past. Question why they have purchased your products and services and see how you can create a low energy, high productivity style app for your customers. As an example, I launched an offer called the 90-sec vid system, which teaches people how to pick up their phone, open the camera, press record, and post all within 90 seconds. I realized one of the things that they were struggling with was the script. And I thought, hey, if I could just give them a tool that would write the scripts for them that uses my brain, how much easier would their life be to apply the method that I've given them? A lot easier. So I used Lovable to create a tool, and within my first month, I generated over $4,000 for an app that essentially took me 2 hours to build and cost me $10 a month to host. On top of the initial income that I earned from the launch, I then went on and earned an additional $11,000 through other marketing, and I still have over $1,000 per month coming in for users using the Pro plan. That's not bad for around 2 hours of work. But here is the thing that no one ever says. If you have a product that people don't actually need or want or understand the use for, it's not going to sell. Even with some of the greatest marketing in the world, it's not going to sell. And even if you are able to get it to sell, you are not going to keep it running because no one is going to stay in the app. But if you have an app where you've already asked people, is this something that you want? Does it fill a gap in the market? Does it make your life easier for what you're already doing on a daily basis? Then you can simply make a single post to social media and you will start getting buyers. Now you might be asking, how do I find customers? And all you need to do is click the link in the description that will take you to my school group so you can access all of these trainings. But if you don't want to do that and pay $17 to gain access to trainings that will literally make you more money than you know what to do with, then here's a simplified way of doing it. You can head over to Reddit and you can search for general questions in your niche around the product that you have plans to build. So if you're building a fitness app, you want to maybe go to Reddit and ask the question how to get healthy. And what you'll see is all of these different threads of people asking questions and other people responding. And you'll come across some threads that actually have a lot of engagement, like this one. And this person is talking about how they're supposed to work 9 till 5, eat healthy, work out, have hobbies, maintain relationships, and get enough sleep. And then go to ChatGPT and come up with app ideas that solve this problem. And then you paste that in and do enter. ChatGPT will literally give you the exact app ideas that you can just go and put straight into your vibe coding tool. You have energy budget planner, an executive function copilot, life slot scheduler, lazy gym habit builder, the list goes on. But you're already basically validating these ideas because you're on a thread that has thousands of people engaging with it, which clearly means there's a demand in the market for it. You can go to TikTok and type in the same question in the search bar and do enter. You can have a look at all of these different videos that are gaining tons and tons of traction and transcribe them and put them into ChatGPT, look at the hooks and come up with these ideas that solve the issues that people are responding to in these videos. So essentially what I'm saying is find a need first. Don't assume that just because you build it, people are going to buy it, because that is not how it works, and it is the biggest way you will lose money and time. And finally, this is something that no one ever really talks about, but when you are building an app, you need to assign it to a specific market. And I'm not talking about a broad market like building a health app and then just going for the health market. No, I'm saying build a health app specifically targeting a sub-niche market. So if you were in the health market, you would be targeting someone like vegans or vegetarians or fruitarians, right? You will be segmenting your market super niche so you eliminate loads of your competition, because we know that every market is now saturated. So you need to find that little division, that little segmentation, that little sub niche of that market so you can actually get seen and heard. And that will not only filter out anyone who isn't serious about joining your app, but it will also put you as an authoritative figure inside your app, eliminate a lot of your competition, and it will give you something that you can keep on talking about and become relevant in without the mass amount of competition you would typically have when you are so broad. Leave a comment below, let me know what sort of app you want to build and if you need any help and if you have any questions about trying to find your target market.